What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, Errol Spence versus Terrence Boyd Crawford is upon us on July 29th. Man, so y'all, as y'all know, I got Errol Spence over here on this channel. I've expressed why several different times, but I'm gonna get to another aspect of why I really root for Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence make it easy for me to root for dude. He just a real ass dude through and through. And I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford isn't, because he seems to be a real dude as well. It's just that certain things I see from Errol Spence, I fuck with heavy in a major way. From him coming up there like recently during these press conferences for the fight, he got up there the other day and was questioning the sanctioning bodies. Like, listen, where's this money going? We got to pay 3% to these sanctioning bodies, paying these sanctioning fees. Where is this money going? Asking, is it going to the fighters? Because honestly, it needs to be going to the fighters. We need to know where it's going. And he's not speaking for just himself as a champion. He's speaking for Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, Alexander Usyk. He named Anthony Joshua, even though Anthony Joshua isn't a belt holder right now. But he's saying, all them dudes raking in money and they got to pay all this money to these sanctioning fees. Where is it going? Is it going to the boxers? Because it needs to go to the fighters. And I said, that's a real ass statement. Because Errol has expressed the fact that, hey, boxers need to get paid. We put our life on the line for human entertainment across the world. You have guys who become shells of themselves. When you see them in these Hall of Fame inductions and press conferences and all these Hall of Fame events, a lot of these fighters don't even have all their faculties anymore. Which is why Floyd Mayweather fought the way he fought in the latter stages of his career. Guys, you can barely understand what they're saying. They can barely walk right. They can't even stand up right. And there's no disrespect to those warriors, right? But he's like, yo, you got to make sure you're taking care of the warriors now. Where's the money going? Where's the money going? Make sure it's not even just going to just the champions, but to the guys who are up and coming in boxing. Like, get these guys paid. Because at some point, boxing is going to end. And will we see the effects of boxing? We see the effects of boxing on a lot of different fighters. After the years progress, we see how Tommy Hearns, we can't really understand what Tommy's saying sometimes. What's my man named? Shane Mosley slurring like crazy. We don't understand James Toney that well. You got to have subtitles sometimes. You got to really listen to James Toney very, very closely. Terry Norris, one of Errol Spence's favorite guys, Texas guy. You can barely hear Terry. He took so much damage, so many headshots, it's crazy. And I'm like, that's some real ass shit right there. That's why I really fool with that brother. Not only just that. After the pressers are done, Errol Spence is taking questions from the media around. Blue Blood Sports TV is there asking questions. He asked Errol Spence a question about, since Terrence Crawford is a switch hitter, how would you deal with him switching, so on and so forth, right? Or something along the lines of that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. That's along the lines of what he said. Errol Spence responds, well, I want to ask you something. Why did you switch? I said, now, that brother is very, very clever and quick on his feet. Respect to Errol Spence for being a real quick and sharp dude, right? But he said, why did you switch up to be Team Bud? You was once Team Errol Spence Jr. What happened? He said, what happened with the little promotion that Terrence Crawford was fighting on? He said, BOK Prime. He said, yeah, that. And he said, well, it ain't happening right now. Errol Spence say, okay then, So I really want to know what happened. Why you switched from over there, from me to Bud so quick? Because it's after Blue Blood had ran into Terrence Crawford at the 7-Eleven and they talked. Blue Blood did switch. I don't care what nobody say. I was watching Blue Blood. He was at Team Errol Spence all the way and then switched up to go over to Team Bud. After that conversation, he was pro Bud. It was like, man, and there's nothing wrong with liking a fighter. But Errol hold on. You know what I'm saying? You switched up so crazy. What happened? But even after presenting that question to Blue Blood, and I respect it, because a lot of dudes would have answered Blue Blood's question and then went home and got on Twitter and trying to trash Blue Blood behind his back when he's away from him instead of saying what he got to say to his face. And it's fighters that do that. You would think some of these warriors wouldn't do that, but it's fighters that do that. And they're like, hold on, no, I'm going to bring this to you, straight to you, man to man, so we can talk about that, and I'm going to address that. But even after all of that, Errol Spence still answered that brother. He still let that brother finish the press, finish off with a question. He still let that brother get a question off at the end and answer this question. And I said, that's some real ass shit. Even though I may have an issue with something you did, you switched up a little bit. Listen, black man, you're a reporter. You doing your thing in the media? Go ahead, ask your question, brother. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna respond to you, brother. I ain't gonna do you like that. I ain't gonna be petty like that. That's real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I respect that all the way through and through. Even in the same presser, he's showing love to Adrien Broner. People shit on AB all the time, trash him. He trash, he garbage. He went 12 rounds. I mean, he went all, yeah, he got a decision with a guy who was a lawyer. And he went all around with a guy that's a lawyer. That's trash. AB's trash. He's garbage. He's washed up. All of those things. They asked Errol Spence, how did you feel about Adrien Broner fights? And he acknowledged the fact that AB looked good. Very good considering the fact he came off a 2-year layoff. And how he wishes nothing but the best for his brother, Adrien Broner. That's real shit, dog. Everybody, other people that trash AB laughed or whatever. You got even other black boxers would have laughed at AB, man. AB, man, he out here bullshitting. Whoa. Errol Spence say, nah, man. I support that brother and everything he do. That's real shit. I respect him. And I said, that's real. That's real man shit, real black man shit that I really, really respect. Even when Adrien Broner had lost his luster and he was fighting Jesse Vargas. And Jesse was winning the first half of the fight. People thought AB was going to get washed out the water. AB made a comeback in the second half of the fight and was hitting Jesse with some crazy shit, right? We saw some flashes of old Adrien Broner with how he was actually throwing his hands. He was actually not sitting on his hands, and it was like, wow. And you look in the crowd, Errol Spence is standing up strong, smiling, and clapping and cheering on Adrien Broner. And I'm like, man, that's real shit. AB need dudes like that who not going to shun him and trash him the moment he lost. Because a lot of dudes trashed him, clowned him out the moment he lost, but they was riding with him all up under his wing when he was up, when he was on top, right? Even I remember some years ago, this is really why I fool with Errol too. Some years ago, he was getting ready to fight Sean Porter. They go in there talking to Bud and Bud's team. They're talking to Bomac and them. They say, you going to watch Errol Spence versus Sean Porter? And Bomac said, man, hell no. Man, I'm streaming that shit. I ain't paying for that shit. I ain't paying for dude fight. I ain't paying for that. Hell, I'm streaming this shit, right? So then they bring it to Errol Spence. In the fight build up, I forgot who it was that was asking him the question. They asked him, hey, Bomac said they gonna stream your fight. You gonna stream Terrence when he fight? You gonna stream his stuff? Errol say, oh no, man, I'm not gonna stream it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy his fight. I support black fighters. I'm gonna buy his fight. That's real ass shit, man. I don't care. Like, somebody talk shit on you, so they gonna pirate your fight. They don't give a fuck about what you doing, and you still respond with, I'm gonna buy his fight. I support black fighters. That's real man shit, man, and I can't do nothing but salute that. Dude is a real genuine ass dude. Even Barbershop Conversations, Fred, big supporter of Errol Spence over the years. One day I'm watching Fred's channel and Fred is running a live and he's just talking about Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao coming up, because this was around the time Errol was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao before he had the eye issue. And so one day he's like, oh, we got Dallas calling. He said, hello? And he said, man, what do you say? What's up, man? He said, what's going on? He said, you don't even know who this is, dude. He said, Fred, this Errol. And he said, oh, and like Fred smiling ear to ear, like that's real talk. A black man is trying to, is building up his channel. He doing his thing in the media, trying to find his way. Well, Fred would tell you he already found his way and got all the bread in the world. Nonetheless, though, salute to Fred. But still calling into that brother's channel, giving him that look, giving him that interview. Errol was on there for about an hour talking to Fred. He went on there for 10 minutes. Even if he gave 5 minutes, it would have been cool. 3 to 5 minutes, that still would have been cool. He sat on there for an hour asking questions. Fred actually let Errol go. Errol didn't say, I gotta go. Fred was the one that said, I'm gonna let you go, Errol. Errol probably would have stayed on there for 2 hours talking. He was answering questions from the fans, from Fred's callers that were calling in. It was real dope and it was special. I'm like, that's a special brother, man, supporting black media. That means a lot, man. That means a lot. Like for a lot of the black media members, they need that look, man. And I do nothing but salute and respect that. Even in an interview, this is what I'm saying too. Like some real shit. Because as men, we have insecurities, especially like it's shit that I'm insecure about. I don't like talking about it. I don't like addressing it, but it's real talk, right? And so, even in Errol Spence's interview with his girl, she asks about the situation when his mouthpiece came out against Yordenis Ugas. And he said, you know what, man? He said, for real, when my mouthpiece came out, I thought my teeth came out because I have a partial in my mouth from losing my teeth in a car wreck, right? He said, I had all these surgeries, so on and so forth. I had the partial in my mouth, and I didn't get it to fit my mouth because I was kind of embarrassed about me having, embarrassed about him having a fake teeth in his mouth. It was an embarrassing thing for him, right? And so, you know, the mouthpiece already loose because it's not fitting his mouth because he's embarrassed about getting it fitted to his mouth for the partial. But then when the mouthpiece came out, he said, yo, I thought my teeth came out. And I was going to be embarrassed. I'm looking down like, yo, like that was been an embarrassing thing. My teeth falling out my mouth. He said, you know, I had an insecurity about that. It's an insecurity I had, you know, talking about how he going to fix it in an upcoming fight. But he was just like, you know, it was an insecurity that I had, that he had about his teeth. You know, people probably talking about his teeth and all that. And that's real shit. Like as a dude, it's shit we don't like talking about, but we want to maintain our bravado. We want to maintain our, what's the word I'm looking for? We want to maintain, you know, being, not machismo, but, you know, men had this thing where we got to be like, people would say macho or not talk about insecurities. People like, oh, man, that's soft. But for him to even just say that shit, like, that's real. Like, listen, man, I had a thing about my teeth, you know, that was embarrassing for me. I didn't get the mouthpiece fitted. Mouthpiece came out of my mouth. I thought it was my partial came out of my mouth. I didn't want my teeth everywhere from the accident. It's, you know, and that's real. That's real shit. That is real stuff that people would go through, especially after having a horrific car accident that he had, man. So, and even then, look, I remember they asked him too, do you think people have been unfair to you after the car accident? People talking about you in the car accident and talking about how you were reckless, so on and so forth. He said, you know what, man? It's some people that's cruel out here. It's people that say cruel things, whatever. But I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, I was living recklessly. So, you know, it is what it comes with the territory, man. This some of the slander, it's fine with me. I can take it. It come with the territory. And he could have said, man, fuck all y'all folks that talk shit about me. I hate all y'all ass. Y'all ass ain't gonna never be shit in life. He could have went on a whole tangent about you broke motherfuckers. He could have went crazy. But to say, you know what, man? I've been living, you know, I was living reckless. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I can take the heat that come with it. I'm fine with it. That's real man shit, dog. They say, you know what? I'm going to eat that. You can talk, even if people being cruel, I'm going to eat it. It is what it is. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be better from here on out. That's why I respect the fuck out of dude, man. Top to bottom, solid ass individual, stand up man, stand up black man for real. And you can only respect that. I saluted 110%. Because I don't know, I'm all for dudes that stand on integrity, stand on business, and dudes that really do what they say they're gonna do. Even with him and, you know, back and forth from Errol Spence fans, Terrence Boyd Crawford fans, whose fault it was, whose side of the street. It was the side of the street stuff Errol talking. Errol say, look, I'm gonna clear out my PBC stable of the belts. And I'm not moving up to 154 without fighting Terrence Boyd Crawford. People thought he was going to move up. People thought, hey, you're not going to get it done if Al Heyman and them getting involved. Errol Spence sat down with Terrence Crawford. He made sure the fight got done. Him and Terrence both did. But he didn't run to another division without letting this fight occur, as he said he would. He's standing on his word. As he should, but that's real ass shit. Errol Spence is a real ass dude. Peace.